Have you ever wondered why losing someone feels like you're literally dying inside? Well, buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you will blow your mind and might just save your sanity. Your brain right now is going through the exact same chemical withdrawal process as someone coming off heroin. I'm not being dramatic here, I'm talking about real neuroscience. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why you feel like absolute garbage, and more importantly, what to do about it. Welcome to the X-Files, where we don't chase after people who walked away from us. Instead, we perform a complete autopsy on what happened so you can build a future that's physically, mentally, and philosophically bulletproof. I'm your host, and this is Season 1, The Anatomy of the Aftermath. Today we're diving deep into Episode 1, the dopamine crash, and trust me when I say this isn't your typical breakup advice channel. So let's start with that death feeling, because it's real, and there's a biological reason for it. When you were in that relationship, your brain was getting regular hits of dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. These are powerful neurochemicals that create feelings of pleasure, bonding, and happiness. Your brain literally became addicted to these chemical cocktails that your partner triggered just by existing in your life. Now that they're gone, your brain is screaming, "Where are my drugs?" The withdrawal symptoms are identical to what happens when someone stops using heroin or cocaine. You get anxiety, depression, physical pain, insomnia, obsessive thoughts, and yes, that feeling like you might actually die. The nervous system is in complete chaos because it doesn't understand where its regular chemical supply went. Here's where it gets even more intense. Your brain releases massive amounts of cortisol, which is your primary stress hormone. This isn't just emotional stress we're talking about. This is your body preparing for actual survival mode. Cortisol floods your system, making you feel jittery, unable to concentrate, and like you're constantly in danger. Meanwhile, your dopamine levels have crashed to basically nothing, which explains why nothing feels good anymore, why you can't enjoy your favorite foods or activities. The reward system in your brain that used to fire up when you saw their name on your phone or heard their voice is now firing blanks. It's like having a car engine that's been running on premium fuel suddenly trying to operate on nothing. The gears are grinding. The system is breaking down, and everything feels wrong because, neurologically speaking, everything is wrong. But here's what most people don't understand about this process. Your brain is also releasing stress chemicals called inflammatory cytokines. These are the same chemicals released when you have a physical injury or infection. That's why heartbreak literally hurts in your chest and stomach. Your body is treating this emotional wound like a physical wound and mounting an inflammatory response. Now let's talk about what happens in your prefrontal cortex, which is basically your brain's CEO. This is the part responsible for rational thinking, decision-making, and impulse control. During this dopamine crash and cortisol storm, your prefrontal cortex goes offline. That's why you do stupid things like drunk texting your ex or showing up at their workplace. Your rational brain isn't driving the car anymore. Your emotional brain has hijacked the vehicle. The attachment system in your brain is also going haywire. Humans are wired for attachment. It's how we survived as a species. When we lose an important attachment figure, our brain interprets this as a threat to survival. That's why you get those intrusive thoughts about your ex, why you can't stop checking their social media, why you feel compelled to reach out even when you know it's a bad idea. So what to do with all this biological chaos? First thing is immediate triage, and I mean immediate. Your sleep hygiene becomes absolutely critical right now, because sleep is when your brain processes trauma and regulates neurotransmitters. You need to treat sleep like medicine. Dark room, cool temperature, no screens for at least an hour before bed, and if you can't sleep naturally, talk to a doctor about temporary sleep aids. The no contact rule isn't just emotional advice, it's chemical detox. Every time you interact with your ex, you're giving your brain a tiny hit of those chemicals it's craving, which resets your withdrawal timeline. It's like taking one sip of alcohol when you're trying to detox from alcoholism. You're prolonging your agony and keeping your brain stuck in addiction mode. Think of no contact as going cold turkey from a drug, because that's literally what it is. Your brain needs time to recalibrate its baseline chemical levels without the artificial highs and lows that person was providing. This usually takes anywhere from 60 to 90 days for the acute withdrawal symptoms to subside, but everyone's timeline is different. Now here's something most people overlook completely. Your body is storing this trauma in your muscles, your fascia, your nervous system. When you're in chronic stress mode, your muscles tense up and hold that tension. Your shoulders, your neck, your jaw, your hip flexors, they're all carrying the physical weight of this emotional experience. This is where deep tissue massage becomes absolutely essential. I'm not talking about a relaxing spa massage, I'm talking about therapeutic bodywork that specifically targets trauma release. Your therapist needs to understand that they're not just working on tight muscles, they're helping your nervous system discharge stored stress energy. During massage, your body releases endorphins, which are natural painkillers and mood elevators. The physical manipulation also stimulates your vagus nerve, which is crucial for shifting your nervous system out of fight or flight mode and into rest and digest mode. This isn't luxury self-care. This is medical intervention for trauma stored in your body. Breathwork during massage amplifies these benefits. Deep diaphragmatic breathing signals to your brain that you're safe, which helps lower cortisol levels. Sometimes people cry during these sessions. Sometimes they feel anger or other intense emotions. This is normal and healthy. It's your body literally releasing what it's been holding. You might also want to consider other somatic therapies like acupuncture, which can help regulate your nervous system, or even something like EMDR therapy, which specifically targets trauma processing. The key is understanding that heartbreak isn't just happening in your mind, it's happening throughout your entire body, and you need to address it holistically. Let's talk about nutrition during this phase because your brain needs specific nutrients to rebuild those neurotransmitter systems. Omega-3 fatty acids are crucial for brain health and reducing inflammation. B vitamins, especially B6 and B12, are needed for serotonin production. Magnesium helps with sleep and muscle relaxation. Protein provides the amino acids your brain uses to make dopamine and serotonin. Avoid alcohol and caffeine during this acute phase. I know it's tempting to numb the pain or artificially boost your energy, but these substances will interfere with your brain's natural healing process. Alcohol is a depressant that will make your dopamine crash worse. Caffeine will spike your already elevated cortisol levels. Movement is also medicine right now. You don't need to become a gym rat, but gentle movement like walking, yoga, or swimming helps your body metabolize stress hormones. Exercise also naturally boosts endorphins and can help regulate sleep cycles. The key is consistency over intensity. One more crucial point about this whole process. Your brain is actually trying to protect you right now. All those obsessive thoughts about your ex, all that rumination and analysis. Your brain thinks, if it can just figure out what went wrong, it can prevent this catastrophic loss from happening again. But this mental spinning is actually keeping you stuck in the trauma response. This is why distraction isn't weakness, it's strategic. You need to deliberately redirect your attention to give your brain a break from the obsessive loops. This might mean removing triggers from your environment, unfollowing them on social media, putting away photos, whatever it takes to reduce the stimulus that keeps your brain firing in the same patterns. The beautiful thing about understanding the biology of heartbreak is that it removes the shame and self-judgment. You're not weak or pathetic or broken. You're having a normal biological response to the loss of an attachment figure. Your brain and body are doing exactly what they're designed to do, even though it feels terrible. Recovery isn't just about getting over someone, it's about upgrading your entire system. When you come through this process consciously and intentionally, you end up with better emotional regulation, stronger boundaries, clearer self-awareness, and a more resilient nervous system. You literally become a more evolved version of yourself. So remember, you're not dying even though it feels like it. You're detoxing from a powerful neurochemical addiction, and your system is recalibrating. Be patient with the process. Be strategic about your healing, and trust that your brain and body know how to restore balance when you give them the right support. If this video helped you understand what's happening in your body right now, smash that like button and subscribe for more episodes where we'll continue dissecting the anatomy of the aftermath. Next episode, we're diving into the psychology of obsessive thoughts and how to break those mental loops. Until then, take care of yourself like the healing human you are.